want you to be free. I want us to be a self-governing people, not having to ask the white man or anybody for anything. All normal, healthy human beings want to be self-governing and self-determining. I want to have a black power. I want to have a black government. When I say black power, I'm talking about black freedom. I'm talking about big lip freedom. I'm talking about broad nose freedom. I'm talking about nappy hair freedom. I'm talking about boombox on your shoulder freedom. I'm talking about black freedom, freedom on our own terms.
That's why, one, I think the first step is a conversation around identity.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And what we mean by this when we say this.
Right.
Right? Identities establish that. Within that identity, right, we develop an understanding of behavior.
Right.
Exactly. Within this identification.
Right.
Within all of that, then you develop a culture.
Right. That's to create the culture. You gotta have them. So
anybody who now coming in to try to identify with this is my problem now with, let's say, Pan-Africanism,
mm-hmm.
right? Or just having the Garvey colors, just mm-hmm. to have the UNIA colors. Right. So now you get a cat like Ghazi, who's open, homosexual, flamboyant, and you got socialist groups like Uhuru Movement, who, in their context, that's not an issue.
Mm-hmm.
He can be in leadership, he can be out front, he can, fine. All right, that works for the Uhuru Movement. That wouldn't work for me. Right? But this is why you create what works for you, your group.
Right.
And understanding, but I still think you did have to. So even when Kwame Ture and Nkrumah and them was talking about socialism, they made a distinction by calling it scientific socialism, which is kind of redundant, but I get it because they was making a distinction between them and Marxists.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Socialists, right? And then those who came after them were saying, listen, I follow the Ture and Nkrumah-ism of Pan-Africanism,
mm-hmm.
right? Or socialism.
Right.
And so it's a clear identification that when I say I'm this, I'm practicing under these guys, I'm part of this organization, I'm part of this movement, and don't confuse us with these cats over here who also hollering they Pan-Africans.
Like
they may be.
Like the Monroe movement.
That's why I think that a whole language, because there's some things that I think our foremothers and forefathers didn't consider or might not have felt like needed to be, or maybe they assumed that it was just kind of understood, that wasn't there. Or maybe they didn't believe it should be. I don't know. But now we'll find ourselves faced with issues that are now here, gender identity, all these other things that wasn't on the itinerary for any of the Pan-Africanist Congress.
I mean, it needs to be like you practicing law. I've heard that law is his own language. Law is his own language. Like it's trademarked and copyrighted. That's why you can get in trouble for practicing law. Practicing using this language, even though it's the same English words, they've assigned their own meaning to them.
Right, exactly.
So do we need to do something like that and copyright our own language to say and codify how we define these particular terms, since other groups do use those same terms?
I don't know if copyright is going to do you any good.
Well, it's codified some way, somehow.
Yeah, through your own. Again,
because
I hope you don't get me. I hope my elder don't get me.
But
again,
it need to move
you're
on.
calling yourself the Black Panther Party for self-defense. The code is you can't. And I'm coming down there to tell you can't.
Yeah.
That's the code.
Right, but I'm saying, but they established that code.
No, I got you. It ain't, I'm saying, from my point about copyright, like, it ain't in no official document that you can't call yourself this. Even with this new wave, they calling themselves the new Black Panther Party.
Right.
Right? They do, like, don't get it confused with the think you can do those things. I don't know they have to have any formal
But I think the problem with that is, and this is when I talk about with sovereignty, we got to define what is what, and not have to go to them file on paperwork.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing what I'm talking about we missing. We have forgotten that, again, George Washington was a regular farmer or whatever, a regular person who became a general. This dude had no formal training.
Yeah.
So when they start saying, I am this, when you say you this, that's what you are. We got to come back to that mindset.
But they codified it though. They had guns and had a revolution. They codified their thoughts.
They did. But I'm saying we're going to do the same thing. That's similar things.
Again, and we was talking about this earlier. I think what the not that we have a revolution, so don't get confused. I'm just saying we revolutionary minded, we revolutionary intended. At least for me.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Revolutionaries, Black African revolutionaries, by and large, have not come up with a code to deal with violations within the group dynamics. Whether it's traitors, snitches, what have you. And that's part of why a lot of stuff can be very co-opted, taken, used loosely. Like, what you gonna do? Like I seen people post about being mad. I was just at this rally, white boy flying the red, black, and green. Well, why you ain't why is you shooting a vlog about the fact that you seen it and the white boy still got his flag? Like, how's that even a thing, partner? And don't worry about the segment of people who gonna believe you wrong for whatever actions you take.
Right.
You only worry about the people who say, "Whoo, I was about to do it, bro. You beat me to it."
You know, I was just thinking about copyright because, recently the Walmart tried to do the Juneteenth ice cream, right? And so some young black dude went in and basically trademarked basically all food products under Juneteenth, right? And so it's like, that's one way to say how something's being used.
That only means he get paid if they use it. That's all it means.
Well, I'm saying,
and it doesn't do anything for the. It doesn't do anything for the group.
They come up with the right amount of money.
It doesn't do anything
in that specific situation. But I'm just saying, as a tactic.
No, why?
I'm saying
as a tactic to codify the language.
Why?
Become the authority.
Become the authority.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Those who really authority figures know they're authority figures because you ain't trying them. I'm gonna tell you who one of the greatest authority figures on these lands, right? Amongst all other people except for white men.
What's the one?
White women. Listen, I've been in the darkest of hoods with the lions, tigers, gorillas, bears, oh my. And a white woman cut listen. And here's what the conversation actually is. Boy, don't do that. You know how much time you'll get? Now you just killed 3 brothers last week. Now you worried about how much time you might get. That's authority. It ain't written nowhere officially that hands off these carriers is safe. That's not written anywhere.
Not really.
It's
running. They're running and doing dusk. As soon as it's starting to get dark, you're like, who does that? You know what I mean? Like, so they know. Like, so that's what I'm saying. That's what authority is. Authority is when you dictate. You dictate the rules of engagement. You dictate all the rules. That's what we have to do.
What was the brother named Aubrey? What was the brother named Aubrey? Ahmaud Aubrey. Johnny. Listen, there's a recording where they interviewing the guy. Maybe it was from the hearing or whatever. But they said, did he have a gun? No. Was he running towards you? No. Did he threaten you? No. Listen, there was nothing. He just was black over here, and that's a violation. So we took care of it. And nothing. That's not written anywhere. That's an understood thing.
I understand that. But we talk the 2 groups in these examples, they have something we don't have.
So why not put the focus on getting what we need as opposed to these superficial workarounds?
Well, like you said, it's a process.
That doesn't bring power to the people.
steps
And I ain't gonna
along the
get
process.
into Juneteenth. We don't say that one. But
That's probably that's what you have to say. That's probably
listen,
what you have.
it doesn't bring power again. All of our decisions, all of our moves, right, that we decide as a collective, has to make sense towards changing the material condition and bringing power, a sense of power to the people.
I want to be free. I want you to be free. I want us to be a self-governing people, not having to ask the white man or anybody for anything. All normal, healthy human beings want to be self-governing and self-determining. I want to have a black power. I want to have a black government. When I say black power, I'm talking about